somebody to influence them, bro. That's what they don't do. There's too much confusion. It's too much motherfucking rebellious when it comes to them telling them something. Now it's changed now because now look why we know what it happened. Because all these motherfuckers out here. So to the person that asked that, what was there, not however she got there. Did he have a right to whip this motherfucking grown ass penis out and persuade her that?
Well, the thing is this. We don't know if he took this grown ass penis out and persuaded her to have anything.
One thing about it. If he did,
I just know whatever they did, it was their personal business.
It ain't no personal when you're mine. Ain't no fucking personal business.
Listen.
Fucking pedal to your motherfucking man.
And see, this is the path that I didn't want to go down today.
Listen, bro, we ain't gonna go down because I'm gonna get off because that shit be pissing me off.
Right.
Because people act so ignorant and tell us one of they nieces, they daughters, they fucking son fucking rammed up the ass by a grown ass man.
Man, look, listen.
That's the difference. See, I don't want to wish, never have to speak ill will on somebody else, but they better think when they look at their little child.
Truth is team lies.
And what is going on with Mr. Claire?
So you can go on with your team truth and his team lies. And your daughter was there a whole year before we even knew about what was going on with my daughter.
That's
and
absolutely
you didn't
correct.
do anything.
Now we got people like Me Too Movement who played the role to get a part of a goddamn TV series to be their name affiliated with it, and I ain't get a phone call. Neither did you from Tanya Burks. So let's stop making people false heroes. And I'm not saying that about anybody because, not the nation, because I know Minister Ferguson, you know, he definitely spoke. I think he had a private meeting with him. Nobody really know what the depths of the meeting went, but I know he did have a meeting with him. But these other ones that was a part of Lifetime and all this shit, we need them. We need them to step up and them to act like they plan a platform. All we doing is playing on each other as black people. That's it. For fame and fortune. That's it.
Live to you. Facebook, live to you. Radio, live to you. Radio, fuck you.
Flesh and blood niece, knowing that this man had improperly sexual relationship with his niece and didn't expose him. He sold out for the money.
So how long did their relationship go on before people started to say it was too much? Like it was just too much to conceal?
I give Diane credit. If she would have known from Jump Street, it would have never happened.
Were you around during the marriage?
During the marriage, I was around, but at that time, Diane had pulled my wife. R. Kelly had called out to Hollywood. Barry was singing and staying in California at the time. And he called out to Hollywood. He said, who is this woman? She won't give me no time with her. She won't give me no time with her. My wife was on him, you know. She was everywhere you go. Because that's what Diane told my wife. You be everywhere she go. He called out to California, to Hollywood, and told her, I can't do nothing with her. Me and Leah need time together. They pulled my wife back. And for 30 days, my wife sat in the hotel making her money. And Leah, that was the time I think that things probably got cozy.
Right. Oh, so they basically paid your wife to go away.
Yep.
Essentially.
Yep.
And she was, sequestered?
Yeah. My wife was in the hotel. She'd go to the studio. It was right across the street from the hotel. She'd go to the studio here and there. But it was like R. Kelly didn't want that. Because he was telling, my wife would tell me one time that he would tell her, sing like you're making love. Well, at the time, Leah had never made love. And she asked my wife, what is he trying to say?
When R. Kelly went off, we kept that shit going. We got bus drivers, we got police officers, we got assistants, we got friends, we got people to lie, we got the storage, we got motherfucking video, audio.
Because y'all could never do nothing as men while that man was there because he treated y'all like shit. Let's talk about how many of y'all he owe money to right now that he played with y'all he all the way till he went to prison.
Because I do remember, Don, you crying on Christmas when he got that bonus money, and you was talking about how you was getting ready to leave him. You, fuck this, you ready to tell it all, and this and that, and because he wouldn't pay you, because he went and took his, what he called himself, called it the family. He took the family shopping for Christmas, and ain't pay you your money. You was sitting there, broke as a joke, sitting there crying about a man that didn't pay your money, and you ain't had a heart to say nothing.
Kelly arrived in Detroit. I bought a gift for basketball, and we would shoot ball at the gym. They love McDonald's. He would shoot ball at the gym, and the boy had. I would take him to one of our gyms, and he played like Michael Jordan. The boy got game. He can really ball. He can ball. Okay, that's why I can't see him being so weak in jail.
Oh, because of the aggression shown on the basketball court?
Yeah. You know how brothers is. Mostly every fight I got into was on the basketball court. And I just can't see how he was so weak. I just wish that we were exposed like that. He was here off and on, sometimes every week. Anyway, he was here. Stayed at the Hornets house for a period of time when they stayed over in Sherwood Forest.
Okay. So when did you actively, because she wasn't famous during the recording process, she was just Aaliyah, right? Okay. When did the records and the actual them spending time together or her traveling to Chicago, what year did that occur?
She traveled to Chicago and making the back and forth album. We're looking at my wife was a chaperone on the back and forth album. And so she was out there with her for almost 6 months. And what happened was that my wife, being from the Nation of Islam, she seen R. Kelly do something bad, disrespectful to Aaliyah. And what she did, she reported it to me. I reported it to Mike. And this was when the problem started with me and Mike fires on. I'm a man of high moral caliber. I love Michael Horton. I love Diane. I love Aaliyah. I love Rashad. I don't care for Barry. I mean, I've got a thing to settle if I ever, But
when you said he did something disrespectful to her,
my wife was looking through the keyhole. You see her had her on the butt. And she was 14 at the time.
and that was that the first encounter or first time people noticing anything inappropriate between the two?
That was the first time.
How old was he when this happened?
He had to be about, 26, 27.
He's 27 and she's 14. And your wife seen it?
Now, my wife seen it.
Were you was security at the time?
I became security. Me and Mike was still running the homeless shelter there.
Okay.
My wife was out making the album with her, and what had happened after all this big explosion happened, Aaliyah, one day she ran away from home. We didn't know where she was at. That's when I brought in all my security team. We went to Mike's house on Woodingham. We sat there on Woodingham with me, my cousin, Kalende, Sekou, and all the martial arts of Detroit. Barry Hankerson was upstairs. They was telling us to do what we have to do to keep her protected. What we were trying to do was see what was the cause. Come to find out, Leah had a secret phone in the house. Our robber was calling her, telling her what to do. She left in the middle of the night, ended up in Miami. We knew nothing about it.
This is before she was famous?
Before she ever became famous.
So let's be clear. A lot of people that ask questions, of course, have different motives. But when it comes to certain individuals, when we ask specific questions, when these people so freely want to jump on these platforms and volunteer information, we ask because we're trying to understand the state of mind of the individual giving the story. So when I'm watching Angelo get on the platform and try to shut down rumors that he broke into this car and stole this valuable information, which anybody with common sense will know that's some bullshit, and even if it were true, it just solidifies what I'm about to say. Many people have failed to realize a lot of the stuff that we see ongoing is, again, what led R. Kelly into his position. The friction and turmoil going on between these people coming out with these stories and coming out to perpetuate these stories, and all these other people being used to facilitate the agenda. Now, with that being said, I asked a simple question. And the reason I asked that question is because there would be no way in the world, if I'm sitting here in the know that the industry likes to separate parents from kids, and this is a time where a lot of people are getting pretty much famous on their own, being an indie artist. So if I knew that I could help my child build their own brand, fan base, etc., and still be involved versus signing on to a company that is going to try to separate me from me and my child, why would I try to put my child in that industry? Furthermore, come out with a story about a man keeping you from your child because you again put your child in this situation. Now, it kills me that when you ask questions, they get off task and get to trying to provoke emotions instead of just saying, this is where I messed up. A lot of people just tuning in didn't see all the shenanigans. But for me, seeing from the beginning of surviving R. Kelly up until now, and even all these so-called victims and accusers going back and forth with one another, they expose a lot of their storylines. So the fact that this person, Angelo, will get on a platform and spin this whole story around one simple question, which was, did you know the lady in which you allowed your daughter to travel with, Valerie Payton? Now, think about this. At what point did they offer in the past that Azriel was a signed artist? She had a contract. If she had a contract then, wouldn't she have a contract now? These are just things that were running through my mind as I'm listening to all this information he's spewing out. So according to him, they have this contract with this label, which is why he thought it would be cool to authorize his daughter to travel with this unknown person. But at the end of the day, if you go to that audio and look in the live chat, you will notice the people supporting him would make stupid ass statements such as, well, haven't you ever heard of carpooling, etc., etc.? So you mean to tell me that you don't see the difference between carpooling, which again, you would have had to meet the coach or the people involved with whatever your child is involved with and sign an actual consent than just, hey, let my child go and relocate with this person carpooling. Like, the whole scenario is completely different. So when I'm hearing these rebuttals and these people know exactly what I'm saying, it's ridiculous. But to answer the question as far as trying to flip the scenario as though you would hope my child wouldn't be in that scenario, and you even step into my realm and compare, it's even the same as in the modeling industry. Well, my audience knows that that's the very thing that turned me off in what I wanted to pursue in the past. So even when all these janky ass so-called supporters would come out and try to latch on to my photos to try to paint this fucked up narrative about me, guess what? all it did was reveal this bootleg ass gorilla pimping bullshit that y'all like to do. At the end of the day, all these people talking so matter-of-factly about these indictments maybe should go read their own indictments, their own background reports before they speak so illy on the next. Just a thought. But again, to answer the question, when I look at his child's profiles from back then and even before, I'm a little bit shocked. Even the way her ex-boyfriend would talk to her visibly online. So, considering that time has passed tremendously, me being the parent, the active parent that I am, I'm very much connected with my children's social media. Like right now, if my daughter was online, I would be getting everything she's doing online. So to see what was going on these people's profiles, Azriel in particular, these For the D challenges even, it's a little bit concerning to listen to you get on public platforms and to prove your point, you will describe such graphic details to make people sympathize with the fact that as a parent, you fucked up. Point blank, period. And no, that would not excuse any adult in any situation to abuse a child. But first and foremost, if you can't even accept responsibility for where you went wrong, you do not need to be on public platforms trying to publicly condemn the next. Okay? That was my message. So for this guy over there, again, there was no need to get on the platform and say you had nothing to do with this car theft. Because honestly, even if the situation did occur, I feel like it's some more bullshit just to justify, as usual, why, yet again, this person has been caught in yet again another lie. All this information he's supposed to have to free R. Kelly. Remember that? These people conveniently forget what's said on these public platforms. And then they want to come back and, as I say, sugarfoot. And when I say that, that just means they come out on these platforms with these grandeur stories, and then they put a little sugar icing on it to, make it look very good. And then they come back and try to backpedal on what they originally said, and then turn around and change the whole narrative altogether. But at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. And as you can see from this particular conversation, anytime I get a message to my phone regarding what's going on with my children online, guess what? I'm in there and they gonna know it. Period. So to sit here and bring me personally into the situation just because I'm, as a parent, would want to know, why would a parent let their minor child go off somewhere regardless of the reason with a stranger? They have said this openly on many platforms. They did not know this woman. For all we know, they didn't even verify her position. So if you can't even verify simple information like that, why would we take any information, any story, any allegation coming from these people serious? Now, one thing I found interesting being on this live was that these people also talked to this new individual with his new story. And as I have been showing you all from the beginning, people within R. Kelly's circle have been positioned to facilitate these narratives. People saying they support R. Kelly think he's guilty, but actually just want to fight for his civil rights. And that's cool. That's what they want to do. My thing is, people like me do not feel he's guilty of the allegations, nor believe any of these stories they're using to try to validate these false allegations. Now, at the end of the day, if these people aren't starting out their conversation with, are you a witness in this federal trial? Are you willing to be a witness in this federal trial and face possible prosecution? Because the way I see it, the stories these people are so freely telling implicate so many people. And I just want to know, where is that same energy for these people they claim were helping a person facilitate crimes? It makes no sense to me. But again, people don't understand that a lot of these beefs that we've seen play out, these people are talking in code. A lot of the things are flying over your head because you're not paying attention to what I said from the beginning. It made absolutely no sense in the midst of this open investigation for people who knew they were being investigated to come out with these plans to cover up all these side deals they've been doing, all these scams in these private groups. So it was no coincidence that old Angelo felt so comfortable with certain individuals. The problem is, they didn't think that conversation would be exposed. And all that conversation did was validate what another witness had already been saying.
Lord, please forgive me how I'm living. I was born to drive a whip with no ceiling. I'm allergic being broke.